Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Neo Kenshin, and I'm coming with you today for a new video I'm recording. It's actually going to be more of a re-record. I actually have done this video before, but I did it a long time ago. It was about 12-ish, 13 years ago. I'm actually doing a re-record of my Megaman X3 playthrough video. Actually doing it now because I've actually learned a couple of new tips and tricks to play through it, and I was actually recently inspired to go ahead and re-record this. I've actually been planning on doing this for a while. I just hadn't gotten around to it, but then one of the guys I follow on YouTube, XTC Games, he's also known as Zach on Twitch. He just started up his Megaman X3 playthrough for the first time, and that kind of told me, you know what, I really do need to go ahead and jump on in and re-record this game, after so long. So the version I'm playing, I am going to be playing on the Nintendo Switch through Megaman X Legacy Collection. I did my first playthrough, I think it was about 2012 or 2013, and I did that on the PlayStation 2 version of Mega Man X Collection. So there are going to be some noticeable differences. In terms of the games, the Mega Man X Collection on PlayStation, I believe, used the PlayStation 1 it was either PlayStation 1, PC, or the Sega Saturn version of the game. So that game, it had more like an arranged soundtrack, and they tried to put more processing in it since it wasn't a cartridge-based game, it was a disc-based game. So, and it did things like added in mini animated videos of the bosses and things like that. But this one is actually going to be the SNES version, which is actually one of the more rare games out there. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to play the Japanese version. Well, one, because I've already beaten the American version. So I'm trying to get the 100 medals for the Japanese version, so we'll go ahead and play in the Japanese version here. But essentially, it's the same game in terms of the whole gameplay. It's just, instead of seeing Mega Man, you'll see Rockman. So, X3, this does pick up a couple of years after X2. I think this game came out in 95, because I believe X2 came out in 94, X3 came out in 95. So this one was, I think, also released towards the end of the Super Nintendo's life cycle, before they kind of began transitioning into... Well, no, I don't. I think it was like towards the mid or towards the end of the life cycle. So, this one came out. This was considered one of the more rare Mega Man titles. It's also considered one of the more difficult ones, because I think they saw the success of X2 and said, you know what, we're going to amp up the difficulty a little bit. So it's pretty interesting there. This one also has a lot of new features that kind of carried on from X2, which is really good. So they kind of expanded a little bit more on X's abilities, and kind of take it from there. But, for those who are kind of interested in the story, basically the whole deal is, a new set of reploids appear. They talk about Doppler Town. If you see on the side here, the character on the right side, that is Dr. Doppler. So they talk about Doppler Town, supposed to be like the new haven for reploids, but they now gone Maverick, and starting here at the beginning, basically what you're seeing is Maverick base is under attack from those Dopplers. So this is basically going to be the new start to it. Let me go ahead and make sure set up properly. Options. And there's also kind of a reason why I'm also doing the switch mode, because in terms of the audio, I know the PlayStation version, because I've got it on PlayStation. The audio in the PlayStation version sometimes lags, because it does with X2. So that's why I did my recording with X2 on the Switch version. I'm not sure how it works on like Steam or Box, but let's jump on. So everything looks good here. And we'll go ahead and jump on in. So now, for those who don't know, like basically the starting scene here is, you know, X and Zero heading to the X-Hunter base. I forget the creator, but somebody did a re-animation of this intro sequence, and it looks really, really good. So if you ever get a chance on YouTube, check it out. So we've got, you know, X and Zero here. Basically, they're like, yeah, we're gonna check things out, find out what the heck's going on. Zero goes on in and, you know, takes charge. So, you know, just like X2, you know, you got your starting intro. I mean, this is stable to the X-Series. You know, you had your intro fight, you know, like the highway. X2 was the robot factory. But this one is X-Hunter headquarters. X's controls are still the same. You know, it can move left and right, it can jump on walls. It still has its dash, charge shot. So they're all the same from X2. So if you played X2, you know, it's about this. So this dude's apparently an X-Hunter who's gone Maverick, who, you know, we just started and we're already losing X. Well, this is where everybody really loved this part of the game, because for the very first time in the X series, we get to play as Zero. He comes in with a badass theme. He has his, you know, he has his 3-shot charge shot ability that he had from X2. And he also has his Z-Saber, which basically had people going nuts when this happened. I mean, first of all, come on, he's got this rocket engine. Oh, almost died there. So, one thing to be careful about is one interesting caveat of this game. Yeah, you get to play Zero, but he only has one life. And when I say he only has one life, he only has one life in the entire game. So no matter where you are, you know, if you die with Zero, it's game over. Okay, yeah, I'm just playing around with you. But I just want to show off. But yeah, Zero, like I said, he's got 3 charges. One goes green, there's 2 shots there. And then the Z-Saber. So Zero was added, and, you know, kind of to say, hey, everybody liked Zero. He was a fan favorite. We're gonna make him playable. So now we've got X back, and now we're gonna run into our first boss here, the traditional first boss. He's basically going to be extremely easy. He takes, you know, he does no damage to you hardly, but you do massive damage to him with your charge shots. So just, you know, charge, get hit. Like I said, you take hardly no damage from him. Just jump, charge, and there you go. And we got an Hunter Medal, and I think that is from playing the Japanese. Oh, I think that one was from beating the boss in the first stage in both X and, or both Rockman and Megaman, so English and Japanese. And so now we'll go ahead and get to Reploids here. So this one still kind of takes the same design as X2, except this time it doesn't really tell you who you're fighting. So unless you kind of knew who it is, you won't really know. But the new Reploids are Blast Hornet, Blizzard Buffalo, Gravity Beetle, Toxic Seahorse, Neon Tiger, Tunnel Rhino, Crush Crawfish, and Volt Catfish. Though, since I'm playing the Japanese version, you'll actually see what their Japanese names are, which some of them have some pretty unique names. In terms of starting the game, I actually recommend the best two starts to go to are Tunnel Rhino and Blizzard Buffalo. The main reason why is both of these bosses, neither of them jump. They're basically ground walked, so they don't jump at all. Both of them do have a sub-tank in each of their levels, so they're fairly easy to get through. And Buffalo is usually pretty good because he has the dash boots upgrade. So I usually go to him or Rhino, but the reason why I go to Rhino first is because Rhino actually gives you the weapon called the Tornado thing, which is a very good utility weapon, so we're going to go to him first. And this intro theme has just gotten even better since X3. Okay, Screw Cider. Okay, so yeah, his Japanese name was Screw Cider. I don't know what I guess that's what a Rhino is in Japanese. I'm a cider or something. So, yes. And one thing you'll notice is this stuff hurts. So, take your time, because some of this stuff really does hurt. There is already the heart tank over here, but we can't get it because we actually need to come back with some upgrades, so we'll remember this here. Ooh, I'm already short. Okay, just head up. Be careful of these mud things because they will immediately push you down to the ground. Jump. But like right here, you want to be careful because that thing can push you into the spikes. And just like that one there, that can do the spikes as well. And that one can push you down also. But if you come up here, we get our first E-tank. Now, these little crab guys are annoyingly evil. Because they can charge up and they do a lot of damage with their charge shots. So you gotta be careful with them. Now, that was kind of a new boss room. Similar to X2, and there are going to be some new bosses introduced, just like the X-Hunters. Oh, come on. Okay, that worked. So there are some new bosses that will show up a little bit later. Just like the X-Hunters, they are random, so they can show up in any of the levels. But once they show up, once we start getting to them, we'll talk about them then. And up here is another secondary pathway. Can't get through that because we do need another upgrade, so we'll come back to it later. Now we've actually got kind of a specific new boss for Rhino's stage. This guy can be kind of annoying. So what you kind of want to do is jump and let him charge into the wall. Jump, let him charge into the wall, and just kind of repeat. And what he'll do is this kind of locks his AI in. So he kind of just repeats the same thing over. And if I'm right, it's 16 fully charged shots to kill him. But you don't want to go too high because he'll claw up and he'll hang up on the wall and that can really just get annoying. So just repeat that process there, and you can literally manipulate his AI. And there he goes. All right. And the energy tank, which is good. Oh. Now these tank things I cannot stand, so I'm just gonna jump past him. Just give me more energy for that energy tank. Okay. Be careful, because those blasts, like I said, those hurt badly. I mean, sheesh, just took 2 hits and he's already done that. But that's okay. I mean, we're okay for now. So I'm just gonna nail you from here. Classic Megaman strat, shooting from the ladder. And we are at Rhino. Now, like I said, Rhino is considered one of the easier ones because he doesn't jump. He basically just runs into the wall. So you want to use your dash jumps. Oh, be careful. Okay. Or sometimes he'll stop like that. But just gotta watch him. And one nice thing about the Reploids this time is they have a hyper mode attack. Like when you see him flash like that, that technically means he's gone into hyper mode. Ah, shit. And normally when they go into that hyper mode, they are invincible. You can't do anything to them. But you kind of see the idea there. The goal is kind of stay up top, lure him into the wall. When he hits the wall, jump over him and hits the wall, and bust her. You might fire off some of his tornado fang missiles. And he might kind of fake you out there. Okay, so he's doing more this time. There we go. There we go. Dash. Dash. Okay. Okay. Use what energy we got in the sub-tank. Get out of the way. Okay, I'm in trouble. No, I'm not. I can do this. Okay. Okay, so apparently I lost grip. Okay. Now I gotta lock in. Which usually I don't get beat like this that much. Okay, here we go, locking in. Here we go. That's right, come on, come on. You want to make sure to jump off the wall just before he hits, because if he hits the wall, he will knock you off. That's right, come on. Triple charge. That's right, come on. And there we go. And Rhino is down. Now, if you were coming in with his weakness, he is weak to the acid burst, which you get from Toxic Seahorse. Basically just hit him and that'll knock him. It doesn't knock him out of his invincible charge, but that's pretty much your go-to weapon to him. Now we get to see this really good designed weapon get screen. The detail that they put on X is amazing. You know, it looks really good. Now the tornado thing is useful. It can drill through walls, drill through certain blocks. You know, it is definitely, it's one of the best utility weapons in the game. My next one always is Blizzard Buffalo. After this, the main reason why I get the Tornado Fang first is because to get the Heart Tank in Blizzard Buffalo, you need the Tornado Fang. So what do they call him in Japan? Because I know they don't call him Blizzard Buffalo. Frozen Buffalo. Okay. Now, be careful with this level because this ice is slippery. The hills, they do increase your momentum considerably, especially if you dash off of them. So you want to be careful there. So, I'm going to use the Tornado Fang here. Now, when you fire the Tornado Fang, you can make it split after you fire one, press it again, and you can make it split in three. Up here, this is a mobile ride armor platform. We can't get any mobile ride armors just yet, but we will find them eventually and be able to use them. Okay, just gonna cut here, jump across, and there's our first heart tank. Be careful going across because, like I said, you hit that hill and it will increase your momentum greatly. And that's just from walking down. You see how fast he was going. Alright. And a life capsule here, which is good because we need 4 sub-tanks. Another mini-boss door. Nothing to worry about here. Alright, now there is a life capsule over here. You want to be careful. Just jump down here and then jump over, because if you land on that here, even trying to dash jump is really difficult. Like, the momentum is designed to just keep you from moving up, so, you know, you just kind of want to be careful there. More of those guys that we saw in Rhino, except this time they're ice-based. If you keep going, that dude will shoot you, so you want to be careful there. Okay. Now, there's our sub-tank. We can't get it just yet, because we do need the dash boots upgrade. We did recently kick in snow. This is just a little thing, a wind platform. You can use it as a quick thing. It doesn't really do anything to you, so no worries there. Up here, we're going to take a Genie of Faith to jump up, and here's where we get our dash upgrade. So, just like X2, it does improve on the dash. In X2, we got the horizontal air dash. X3, we get something brand new. We still get the horizontal dash. We now get a vertical dash. So, head back the other way. Oh, careful. Okay. Now to get the sub-tank here, what you kind of want to do is watch him and jump and dash up and use your momentum to carry you over. Gives us our second sub-tank. You just want to keep respawning. And now it's time to take on Buffalo. So, I don't think I have any extra lives, so I am going to lock in. Buffalo does have a cheese. You can confuse his AI if you do it right. Once again, he doesn't jump, but you can trick him. When you charge, when he turns, vertical dash, it literally will keep him dashing into the walls, and he'll do it over and over and over again. And you just shoot him, and he doesn't do anything. So he's one of the only other ones that you can trick the AI into to doing such. Otherwise, normally you would just jump over him and just kind of keep your distance from him. He does throw his frost shield weapon, kind of like how Wire Sponge does with his wire thing. Now, the frost shield, this is a very good weapon. One, it has a lot of attack power in it. It is moved kind of slow, but it has a lot of attack power, and it has a unique effect that when you destroy enemies with it, they can drop life capsules. So, now we can finally get to meet Dr. Doppler. Oh, and one more thing. With Blizzard Buffalo, if you're going at him with his weakness is the Parasitic Bomb from Blast Hornet, which basically just jump over him, shooting, jump over him, shooting, jump over him, shooting. So now we get introduced to Dr. Doppler, and we get introduced to our new enforcers. This is Bit and Bite. They're just like the X-Hunters. They will appear randomly in the stages as they appear. And there's a unique thing about these two. Depending on how you defeat them will change how you defeat a boss in a later in the game. The same here with Vile. Vile has been resurrected, so he is back as well. Now, Vile also has a unique ability where, depending on how you defeat him also, will actually change the effect of you getting some certain upgrades in the end. So, and what I mean by saying how you defeat them is, they all have specific weaknesses, where if you get the last hit with their weakness, they're destroyed. If you hit them without their weakness, they teleport and leave. So, there's actually a reason why I also do Tunnel Rhino and Blizzard Buffalo is because Bit, the yellow Reploid, one of his weaknesses is the Frost Shield, and Bite, the big red Reploid, one of his weaknesses is the Tornado Fan. I think their other weaknesses, Bit's other weakness is Spinning Blade, and Bite's other weakness is Triad Thunder. So now, we can do a couple of things. We've got the Frost Shield, so we technically can go to Toxic Seahorse and get his weapon, because Seahorse is weak to the Frost Shield. We can go to Volt Catfish and get his weapon, because he is also weak to the Triad, or weak to the Tornado Fang. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Neon Tiger. The main reason why is we get a sub-tank, and we can also get the Buster upgrade, which getting the Buster upgrade means we can also now start to do Neon Jumps. So Neon Jumps have come back from X2. So who's our boss here? Shining Tigard. Okay. Interesting name. Alright, so we'll take advantage of our vertical dash as well. So right here, vertical dash. If we dig this way, this is kind of the quick way to get through, which I'll actually come back this way. Just keep filling those energy tanks. So there's our energy tank up there. you'll see just how strong the frost shield really is. Like one shot there, and then it will leave the little frost thing there. This thing's got some power to it. And then of course, going here. Okay. Oh. Like I said, Zero is in this game. He can be summoned once per level. He has a full life bar, unlike X, who's got to expand his. He's got his 3-shot, 0-shot. Like I said, the biggest things with Zero is if you die with Zero, he's out of the game for good. You can never get him back. He can't take on any bosses or mini-bosses except for one mini-boss, and that's later in the game, if you get to him there. Also, if you have Zero, whether or not you have Zero at the end of the game does affect the ending. It's not a good ending, bad ending thing. It's just, you know, just a different way the ending happens. So, but to summon Zero on your subscreen, you hit your R button, you'll see Zero's icon, and then you can hit start. He basically says, X, I'm on my way. X will switch out, and you've got Zero. And if you want to switch back to X, you do the same. X is there, and X will return. Now, after you summon Zero, once you summon him, you can't, because he's basically done his job for the level. So you won't be able to get to summon him again until you restart the level. But if you feel like you're going through an area where you're worried that X is going to die, if you know you can get through it because you need some extra life with Zero, go for it. But just remember, switch him out before Zero dies, because you do not want to lose Zero. Alright. So now we get the Buster upgrade, which has improved again, though, in all honesty, the X2 Buster is probably still better. This one has a unique ability where instead of just 2 shots individually, you now get to do what's known as the cross shot. So you charge it to full, and then you fire them together. You fire your 2 shots. This time they'll combine into a big spread shot. But as I stated, we now also have access to our Neon Jump. So jump. So I'll show you here. So now we can get even more height, because now you can jump, and then you now get your air dash restored. So this is going to actually help us get an upgrade much earlier than we're supposed to get. So, alright. So now we've got Neon Tigers, technical mini-boss. This snake thing, he takes a lot to kill him, but the frost shield will really put the hurt on him. But I want to be careful, because I don't want to waste all my frost shield in the event. Okay, so I timed that. I had no idea that was going to work. The reason why I didn't want to use up all my frost shield is because if we run into it, I want to make sure I do have frost shield here. And it has been notorious to usually show up the first stage you choose after, so I want to be careful with that. Chance, of course, to get ride armor. Okay, so I want to be careful, because I really don't want to use up too much weapon energy. But I don't want to die, so that's gonna help that. Actually, I want to see if I can get some more weapon energy. just in case. I'm prepping just in case Bit shows up. And speak of the devil, he does. Okay. So, with Bit, he likes to dash all over the place with his sword or whatever. So just use Frost Shield when you can, and use your mobility to keep away from him. And trick him into the Frost Shield. Now, I'm actually going to not destroy him. Because the reason why I talk about destroying and not destroying, if you destroy both Bit and Bite, when you go to Doppler Stage 1, there will be a completely different boss. And if you don't destroy Bit or Bite, there will be a combined boss. You'll fight Bit and Bite again as a fusion boss, which ironically is a little bit easier than the other boss because of how it's placed. So I'm actually going to just go ahead and let Bit live, but I am going to destroy Bite, so it kind of showed me. Or actually, no, you know what? I'm going to destroy Bit, but not destroy Bite. So, this is what happens when you actually destroy them. They'll say their text, and then they'll start to explode. If you didn't destroy them, they would say some text, but then you would see them teleport out. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and use the sub-tank because I do not want to die, and I need to get some lives. Okay, now these little caterpillar things, those spikes, they are not fatal, they're just annoying. So if you get hit by them, you are okay. If you didn't have the dash boots, you would just kind of dash from here, put vertical dash, and this will get you up and get you the heart tank. Now that's also given us a 100% completion in Neon Tiger stage, so we don't have to worry about getting anything else. Now we've got Neon Tiger himself. He is notorious because he will block your shots. So, don't try to use the fully charged Buster. Just kind of use the light charge shots. And I am really effing up here. Like, bad. But he does kind of stay in the pattern there. Okay, I gotta remember, first shot he goes up. Okay, now he's doing it from the... Okay, I'm in trouble. I'm in trouble. We might get a game over here. Yep. Oh, fuck. Okay. Well, that's okay. That is okay. Because the biggest thing we wanted was the Buster. So, what I'm actually going to do now is I'm going to go get an armor upgrade. Now I'm going to have to make a return trip to Catfish because we're going to need something else back here. So, but technically I'm not supposed to get the armor upgrade just yet. But using the neon jump trick, we can get it. So who's our boss here? What's a Nama? Okay, Electro Namazoros. Okay. there's a hidden area down there. We don't want to go down there yet because we don't have something that we need, which we'll actually go back and get. Well, the reason why I wanted to be Neon Tiger is because going down there actually, because you want to go down there, because that's actually where you face a vial. And you want to have either Neon Tiger's weapon, the Ray Splasher, or the Spinning Blade from Crush Crawfish, because those are vials weakness. Now, like I said, depending on whether or not you destroy or defeat Vial, will change a boss that you face in Doppler Stage 2, and also change whether or not you get a certain upgrade. So, of course, this being a Megaman X game, there is a special upgrade if you get everything. So, it's not a Street Fighter based maneuver because honestly, what's the only other Street Fighter maneuver left? It would have been the Hurricane Kick. I'm really getting wrecked. Okay. So, coming up here, I'm gonna go ahead and prep. This is where you'll get the armor upgrade. Now, the thing is though, you can't get this thing to lift because you need to have the charge, you need to have the gloves, and you need to have the gravity well, which is from Gravity Beetle. Because what it does is it creates a gravity field that lifts this thing up so that we can get it. But using our Neon Jump, we can do this. Oh, if I get it. Using the Neon Jump, you can jump, Neon Shot, and then air dash again, and this will take us up to get the armor upgrade. Which the armor upgrade in this one is pretty good, because now whenever X gets hit, he generates a shield, which completely reduces damage by 50%. And I'm gonna go ahead and play with Zero a little bit. At least until I get to the mini boss door. Just so I can get through. As you can see, he can't grab weapon energy because he doesn't have special weapons. And when you get to the gate here, it'll automatically switch over. And you can also now see X's change because he now has his armor, which is pretty cool. And once he gets his helmet upgrade, you'll then see X with his helmet upgrade. So, now right here, where I'm standing, there is the way to a sub-tank, but unfortunately you can't get it because we need to have right armor. But what I'm going to do here is using the Frost Shield. As you notice, anytime you hit with the Frost Shield, it will make enemies drop health points. So this is a good way to refill your health. So it's a real good way to get your health back into them. Some things do take more than one shot, so you just kind of go with what you got here. Alright, now let's take on Volt Catfish. Catfish basically will just jump all over the place. Tornado Fang is your best friend. Literally can lock him in place just as soon as he lands, fire one, and it basically will lock him and stun him, and he hardly will ever attack. Although he is getting stuff off, probably because I'm moving slower. And then what will happen is once he gets to halfway, he'll jump in the middle. So he won't jump anywhere else. So as he jumps and lands, hit him with a tornado thing. He'll jump, land, tornado thing. He'll jump, land, tornado thing. He'll jump, land, tornado thing. And you can literally beat him without taking any damage. Alright, so now we get probably one of the best weapons in the game, the Triad Thunder. This weapon is just really good to use. It creates kind of like a triangular energy shield around you. So it'll create like a triangular energy shield. You can actually make it change direction. Like if you hit the button again before it gets done, you can make it switch where you put the two up on top and the one down at the bottom. You can keep it up, but it uses a lot of energy. But it's really, really good. So I'm now going to continue on the path, and we're going to go to because I want to go ahead and get I want to go ahead and at least get Vile's weakness, because we need to go ahead and get Vile knocked out. So, Crush Crawfish. What are you in Japanese? You are called Scissors Shrimper. Okay. Okay. So there is a mech tank, mech spot here, so you can't do anything. Now, here, there is an item here. If you noticed, the Triad Thunder bounced off of it. Well, the way you get this is you need the Triad Thunder and you need the Charge Shot. You charge it up and just let it rip. Which X has the coolest charge attack with Triad Thunder. And what we have here, this is one of the Right Armor upgrade capsules. This is the H Armor, which is the Hawk Armor, which is the Flight Armor for X. So, but once we actually unlock the main Right Armor capsule, we'll be able to use it. So we can't use it for now. There is an upgrade here. We can't get it because we need the Right Armor, because unfortunately the tornado tank bounces off of it. If you come down here, there is another upgrade. Once again, the tornado tank bounces off of it, so we can't get that here, so we do need the Right Armor for that. But once we get the Right Armor, we'll be able to get those. Now, are we going to run into Bite? Nope, we are not. Okay. Now, down there is a heart capsule, but there's also the pathway to the Vile's teleporter, so we don't want to go down there yet. We'll come back. Will drill through these walls. But I do want those 2 extra lives. Alright. So, not a mini boss, but just the reactor of that boat. which will... So essentially, we just sunk the boat. We flipped it upside down, but it's not sinking, so we're with it. Hey, I don't want to deal with these guys, so I'm just gonna get past them. Okay. Now, Crush Crawfish has a very interesting quirk. If I do this right, I'm gonna insta-kill him. So, I'm gonna give it a shot here and see if I can get it. Okay, oh shoot. Okay. Okay, so... Okay. We'll try it again. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna let you tell me because I didn't get it right. So, Triad Thunder, of course, is his weakness, but I think I did it wrong. What you do is if you do this right, the moment you hit him, because what you have to do is you have to hit the Triad Thunder and start your charge to use your charge shot. And you have to let the lightning hit him and stun him. Then what you do is, while he's stunned, that's when you release the charge shot of the Triad Thunder. If it does it right, it will you'll just see his life bar just rip down. Okay. Art. Okay. You done. Crawfish. I didn't get it. Okay, you know that. Why is it that when I'm making videos, you know, everything I want to do just doesn't work? Like, seriously. Like, it happened in my X2 video. Like, I couldn't hardly do stuff that I wanted. And now, I've done this trick, like, a bunch of times, and now I can't get it. What the heck? Unless they all of a sudden changed and said, oh, it doesn't work in the Japanese version. Oh, come on! Right. Gotta be careful. Okay. So... Okay. Well, we're just gonna have to beat the X-Buster. Because I apparently screwed around and messed up. But you know what? We'll do it in a refight. Come on, you stupid shrimp. Okay, see, this is what you get when you're trying a trick and it doesn't work, and you screw up, and now you're in trouble. I think it's creator's curse when you do that. You record, and you've done it before you record, but when you record, it doesn't work. But, I mean, he's not too bad with the Buster. just, yeah, those things he throws, I mean, those will kind of get annoying. But, you know, because you got the armor upgrade, that does help. Just as long as he doesn't grab you, you're good. But yeah, we're getting this in the refights. Yeah, yep. You done crawfish. See, you done made my video, you know, you done messed up and made me look like an idiot. And I'm gonna kill you. And trust me, in the refights, you're gonna get the one-shot kill. Evil jerk. So, yeah. That's the thing. Okay. So, the spinning blade is another really good useful weapon. It'll fly ahead of you and then kind of split in two. But it's got a lot of good damage. It will wreck a lot of enemy trees. So now, what I want to go ahead and do. Who has the bile portals? Okay, we're gonna go back to crawfish, or catfish, because catfish's bile portal is easy to get to. And we're gonna go ahead and knock bile out. So come down here, and the bile portals are these colored ones right here. Just jump in, and it takes you to another place. I think it's like an abandoned warehouse. With, of course, some pretty intense music. Now, this elevator is good. It's good because there are a lot of life capsules. Best way to do it, stay close to it, get under it, and jump. And you can really rack up a lot of life capsules there. I don't want to deal with you. Now, I gotta be careful because I don't want to use up all of my spinning. Well, I'm gonna have to use up all my spinning blade. Normally, you gotta go in with the Ray Splasher because you face off against Vile. He's in his mech. And of course, he talks about how he's gonna destroy X. He'll dash and try to strike. With a dash strike, you just jump. Considering you've got air dash and you've also got armor, by now you should have a good amount of life. So he shouldn't be too bad. So once you destroy him in his mech, he'll jump out, and then he'll use the same tactics. I want to be careful because I don't want to use up all of my spinning blade. Because I'm low. So I'm actually going to switch off to something else. Okay, so Try Thunder doesn't work on him. Yeah, I don't want to use up all of Spinning Blade. Frost Shield work on him? Maybe. Okay. No, Frost Shield doesn't do too much damage. Okay. So we're just going to stick with X-Buster until we get him critical. But yeah, his pattern is cannon, firebomb, cannon, firebomb. Alright, now we should be good. And that should destroy him. Which which is what we want. So, had we not destroyed him, he would actually show up in Doppler Stage 2, and he would actually show up in an even bigger mech, with, like, instead of just, like, those ones, I mean, it was, like, big, piercing pinchers, so now the place is about to blow, so now we gotta get back up out of here, which, in all honesty, it's not that bad. I mean, just, you know, you use your dash and everything. You can't use the escape unit yet, but with the frost shield and, you know, your spinning blade, you've got more than enough ammo. Just jump on here. You don't have to worry about, you know, dash jumping up the wall. Like I said, you've got more than enough time. And then just use your dash jumps. There's no more enemies here. If you fall down, it's okay. Just jump up the wall. Like I said, you've got more than enough time. And now that that's done, you no longer have to worry about the vial stage. It takes you back to the beginning of where you were. So we're going to go ahead and get on that. So, now, normally I wouldn't do this until the very end of the Reploid fights, but I'm going to go ahead and get the helmet upgrade. The reason why is if you're not used to the game, the only reason why I get the helmet upgrade last is because I know where everything is. But if you don't know where everything is, the helmet upgrade in this one actually is very useful for telling you, where things are. So it is here in Tunnel Rhino, and where you saw when you're earlier, where you saw those blocks that were hanging, like right here. You need the Triad Thunder and you need the Buster upgrade. Go ahead and have X do his Ground Slam, and that will actually destroy everything in there for you to get through. So we're just going to go ahead and just motor through here and get through it so we get to it. But most of the time, like when you see 100% runs that are like being, speed runs, normally the helmet upgrade is normally the last upgrade that's gotten. And there's a reason why. And once we get it, you'll actually see why. Okay. But in all honesty, like I said, if you've never played this game and you're still kind of wondering, hey, where do I find everything? Then the helmet upgrade is a definite must get as soon as you get the Buster upgrade and as soon as you get Triad Thunder. Okay, so we'll go ahead and charge up our Triad Thunder. And the helmet upgrade is up here. So what the helmet upgrade does in this one actually improves on X2's radar ability. X2's radar ability was absolutely worthless. X3's radar ability is actually good. So what it does is at the beginning of every stage, it will generate a map of the stage. So you'll see kind of a wireframe map. And what this does is, if there's an item located there, you will see a little red spot kind of in the square where it's located. The helmet upgrade also now lets you know what items are in each Reploid stage. It'll show you, like for Tunnel Rhino, it shows you there was a heart tank, a sub-tank, and the head upgrade. So there's 3 upgrades in every stage. And you're probably asking, what are the upgrades? So we know that there's a heart tank in every single stage. There are 4 of X's upgrade capsules. There are 4 sub-tanks. There are 4 bright armor upgrade items. And then there are 4 special upgrades. Like going to Crush Crawfish, you see those 4 question marks. When I get to one of them, we'll showcase what they are once I get to them. So I'm going to go. Because I need to go. I'm gonna go ahead and do Tiger. I'll do Seahorse last. Because Seahorse, I don't really have to worry about anything. So we'll just go ahead and book it through Tiger stage, and we'll go ahead and get to him. Now I got Spinning Blade. I can take him out. So once again, you see the flashes there. If you don't see anything, then that of course will let you know, hey, you don't have any items or upgrades. But that's also the reason why speedrunners get the helmet upgrade last, because that map generates every time, and it does take a bit of time. So that's kind of why they don't get it there. But we've got weapons to use, so we're going to use them. So, now we gotta deal with this guy again. Which, if I'm right, is speed kill. Is that, and then frost shield. And there we go. So yeah, like I said, Frost Shield is very, very powerful. It may be slow, but it's got a lot of power behind it. We'll just take advantage of the fact that X is like way faster now. And he's also fully armored, so you know what? Bring it on! Tanking everything. Okay, are we gonna run into Bite? Nope. So Bite's most likely gonna be in Gravity Beetle or something. But we're just gonna keep going. Take on Neon Tiger. His weakness, of course, is Spinning Blade. And this should go a lot easier now because he doesn't actually block Spinning Blade shots. Well, if I can hit him. But he kind of suffers the Skinny Chameleon effect. If you remember it from X1, I didn't play this, but Skinny Chameleon, you could technically lock him into a pattern if you use his weakness. And he would just keep jumping in the same place and literally just lock him out. Now, Tiger does also have a super mode attack. We'll see if we can get him to pull it off. Come on. Come on. Do it, buddy. Come on. Do it. Come on. Do it. Okay, you're being a jerk. So what Tiger does is he'll apparently charge up his claws, he'll turn orange, and then basically what he does is he does a dash, and then he does it all the way across the screen, and he does a rising slash. And that's what he does for his super attack. Okay, so now we got the Ray Splasher, which this is actually a pretty effective weapon. This is also Vile's other weakness. It's basically kind of like a light energy machine gun. Alright. So now we'll just get ready to do A little bit more up here. We'll go ahead and go to Gravity Beetle because we can get everything in Beetle that we need. So, all right, Gravity Beetle. What are you called in Japanese? Gravity Beetbood. I swear they come up with some of the wildest names in Japan. And out here, we've got 3 art. So that's why our upgrades look. You know, that's where items look like. You see them in red flashing there. So if you can kind of remember where they are after the map disappears, because you can't pull the map back up, but just kind of remember. Now, Gravity Beetle, we can't get the heart tank now because we got to come back after we beat the last Hornet. So that's the only thing we can't. Well, that's the one thing we can't get. Technically, there's 2 upgrades we need, or there's 2 that we need. We need to be Blast Hornet to get. Okay, you are really making things difficult. Seriously? Okay, here we go. That's way better. Okay, we might run into Bite here. No. So it looks like we're probably going to run into Bite and Blast Hornet, either in Blast Hornet or Seahorse. Now this upgrade here, don't worry, you can get it. Basically jump and vertical dash. Don't dash jump, regular jump, and then grab the ledge here. And that one is our F, which is our frog, which stands for frog, which is our water ride armor. Ouch. Yeah, I'm gonna be a geek here. Now, to get the 3rd hidden upgrade here, you're going to need your ride armor. There's a ride armor platform up here if you need to get to it. And basically what you would do is you'd use your ride armor, you would dash jump, like you dash jump, dash jump, dash jump. And here's where you would come. You would knock the wall out here with your mech armor. And that takes you to the question upgrade. Or the question item. Alright. So we're gonna switch to our Race Flasher. And we're gonna stomp on a beetle. Gravity Beetle is pathetic. He'll jump, shoot, jump. So Gravity Beetle is one where you actually can knock him out of his invincible mode. Which, when you hit him, basically what he does for invincible mode, he basically will just ground dash and basically just kind of dig up stuff that kind of goes into his gravity well. Other than that, if you got the Race Clasher, just keep shooting him and he's toast. So, yeah, Gravity Beetle really doesn't have a lot going for him. So now that we got Gravity Beetle down, we do get his gravity well. And the gravity well, it's basically designed, it's good to take on flying enemies. Because it's basically designed to attack gravity. fire it, it basically will create that energy field, and that will pretty much hit airborne enemies. Bug hole. Okay. So they call it a completely different. Okay, so in the American version, it's called the gravity well. I guess in this one, bug hole. Wow. I did not know that. Okay, so what are we gonna call Blast Hornet? What are you? Explodes Hornet. Wait, is it actually called bug hole in the status screen? Dude, I never knew that about the Japanese versions. Okay, so we got 3 items here. It really is called Butthole! Hilarious! That is hilarious! Wow. That is cool! So what do you get from Gravity Beetle? You get the bug hole. Okay, so now to get the hidden upgrade here, you're going to need your right armor capsule, but you can't get it yet. The hidden upgrade is located over here. You can't really get it. I mean, you can get up here if you neon jump, but it's kind of not worth it. So, yeah, if you notice, Gravity Well, it will attack, but it doesn't do a lot of damage. So, now we've got kind of the main boss of this stage, which is the first of the neon bosses. We haven't had any one of these in a long time. This thing, just shoot. It will jump when you hit it. I haven't figured out a good weapon to hit this guy with. So at this point, yeah, I just tank and shoot. I think the acid burst does good damage to him. I just never get in here with the acid burst. So. Okay. So what you want to do is come here, use the tornado thing. It'll destroy these blocks. And use the tornado thing here to destroy this wall. And then destroy this block. Come down here. And this is the Chimera armor. The Chimera light armor. Once you release it, you now have your own personal light armor. So now, in all of those light armor capsules, you can now summon the Chimera armor, or its variations, the hawk, the kangaroo, or the frog. Now, here, right here in this area, there should have been a mini-boss where there was a plane that was bringing down, like, explosive blocks that you'd have to take on constantly. But after beating Gravity Beetle, you usually don't see that. And, of course, the heart tank was up here. You can get it with the vertical boost, but if you have the right armor, just jump and then jump out. And that'll do the heart tank. Okay, Bite, are you going to show up here? No, you're going to show up in Seahorse's stage. Okay. Okay, that looked pretty cool. All right. Let's test out our bug hole. I swear, I cannot believe they call it the bug hole. That is hilarious. stay up in the air, he'll just throw it out, and it stuns him. He'll throw his hornets out, so yeah, they will stick to you. But if you get hit, and then you can also charge up the gravity well and let it fly. And this will basically do a full screen, and it'll slam him, and it'll hit him for like 6 damage when it hits. Now, when it gets critical, you'll actually release an auto-targeting reticle, where once he auto-targets you, he'll start firing out his little hornets, and he'll fire them one at a time, and they'll lock onto you directly. But Gravity Well, like I said, just obliterates him. Bug hole. That is just too funny. Alright, so now we get the Parasitic Bomb. This one is pretty interesting because what the Parasitic Bomb does is, with certain enemies, if you hit them, it'll lock them into place and eventually it'll blow up and explode. But some enemies, if they're not really heavy-rooted enemies, if you hit them with the Parasitic Bomb, they'll go off and they'll fly into another enemy, which I think I might be able to showcase it here. Okay, yep, we know about the map. Just want to get the heart tank. Let's see here. Okay, so if you notice, like, all the blocks are cleared out. And yeah, so just like that, because it was one of those lighter enemies, if you hit him, he flies off into something else. But yeah, usually when you hit with the Parasitic Bomb, it effectively neutralizes him, and you can pretty much walk through him. So now we're going to go ahead and do cleanup, and then we're going to go to Seahorse stage last. So in terms of cleanup, basically what you want to do, the reason why I'm doing this setup, I don't want to get any of the question blocks just yet, and I'll show you here very soon. So pretty much if you complete a stage, as long as you've got everything but the questions, you're good. So we've got everything for the last hornet, got everything for buffalo, everything for beetle, everything for tiger, everything for rhino. We just need to get the sub-tank here, which this one we got to go ahead and get through most of the stage, but we're just going to barrel through. We'll tank everything if we have to. Yep, I've got a bunch of weapons, a lot of power. Yeah, I'm not really worried about getting life energy now, because we will get away an easy way to fill up our sub-tanks pretty soon. So for now, I just want to go ahead and get that sub-tank. You know, that I think about it, we may run into a bike here, I don't know. Maybe. Okay, nope, it looks like it's going to be Seahorse. So what we want to do is we're going to come up here. And we'll get our ride armor. Now, when you land on the platform, you now get to choose. N, which is normal, is your normal Chimera armor. H is the Hawk armor, which is kind of jet armor that flies and fires missiles. And F is the Frog armor, which will allow you to kind of move better in water. Let's see. I'm going to pull up the Hawk armor, and we'll show that one off. So, the Hawk armor fires missiles. and you can use it to fly. Just basically jump, land. And there we go. And then we got that. We're bailing. And now we've got one more stop into Crawfish. So we'll get the things in Crawfish. And then we'll go to Seahorse and finish out. And here I'll also show off the question mark upgrade, because now we can get it, but we're not gonna get it. Okay. All right, here we go. So we'll get the hot. So we got right armor. The best thing about right armors, of course, is you take no damage. And so they're great if you're full health. You can run and fill up your, tanks and everything. Okay, so we're just coming down to here, blast through. Gotta get our heart tank. We'll blow this guy up. Now, like I said, it's down here, because now you can blast through. This is the reason why you now run into these red capsules. The red capsules are a new unique feature of X3. Each one is an upgrade to your upgrade armor. Each one of the red capsules holds an upgrade chip, which will increase your ability of your whatever armor parts you get. The head chip will activate an auto recharge if you stand still. The Buster chip will give you what's called the Hypercharger, which is kind of like the Giga Crush from X2. As you take damage, you'll start building up energy, and then you can start firing constant charge shots. The armor will enhance your armor and make it so that instead of taking 50% damage, you now take 75% damage. You get an extra 50% boost. The boots will enable you to double air dash. There is a trade-off. You can only get one upgrade chip. So, if you want an upgrade chip, once you get one, you can't get any more, and you are locked into that upgrade chip for the rest of the game. However, this is a Megaman X game, so obviously there's got to be some secrets, right? Well, we'll see about that here in a little bit. So for now, we're not going to get it. But in terms of the chips, if you did want to get one of the upgrade chips, the helmet chip is here in Blast Hornet. The armor chip is here in Seahorse, or in Crawfish. The Buster chip is in Beetle, and the Boots chip is here in Seahorse. So, that's only if you wanted to get them. But I don't recommend getting them, and you'll actually see why I say don't get them. Acid Sea-Force instead of Toxic Seahorse. Okay. Alright, let's go ahead and barrel through this dude. Alright, so looks like some of our upgrades are fairly, or some of our collectibles are fairly early to get. And chances are we are going to run into Bite stage. Pretty much at this point, you're pretty decently powered up. So, I mean, normally I would say take your time, but if you're just into it and you want to start going gung-ho, go for it. I mean, you're going to be tanking all kinds of stuff. There's health capsule up here. Now, the hard tank is going to be all the way up here at the top. And that's our last heart tank. And this should be Bite. Okay. Now, Bite's a bit of a chonker. Of course, his big weakness is Tornado Fang and Ray Splasher, I believe. His kick is he will throw these little magnet things that will try to repel you off the wall. And if he hits you when he does his dash, he'll basically slam you up in the wall, which will wind up and punch you to the other side. And he basically keeps doing that. So what you want to do is when he does that shot, just jump and vertical dash off. Vertical dash back into the wall. Okay, now I don't want to beat him with his weakness. So I'm gonna switch off here and just finish him with the Buster. And you'll actually see why. So when you beat him without his weakness, he'll say some things, but then he'll teleport out. And like I said, the reason why is because beating Bit and Bite manipulate your first boss that you face in Doppler 1. Now, let's showcase the frog armor, because this is probably going to be the only place that we really showcase the frog armor. So, it hops, and you can super jump with it. It doesn't really turn very well. If you hit the dash button instead of jumping, you can make him, it does kind of like the frog float, but yeah, he will basically throw homing missiles at you. And you actually need it to get past this turbine fan, because otherwise it will blow you away. And this is if you wanted to get the boots upgrade. There's the upgrade capsule right here. Now, we don't want the boots upgrade, but what we do want is the upgrade that was back here. So this is going to be where the final ride-at part is. Now, there's a unique ability about the boss shield. When you're underwater, if you charge it up and let it go, it will create a glacier that will float up and let you float up. Say use it. So use it about right here. This is where you would use it. So you would charge it. So right here at this point, charge it, and then you can jump on top of it. You can climb on it. It'll float you up and take you right up here. And this is up here is where you get the fourth armor, which is the kangaroo armor. Which, that right armor is basically like Vile's right armor. It has the spikes on it, and then when you charge it up, you can have it throw out those spikes, kind of like a long arm. So that's what it does there. So let's go ahead and wipe this dude out. At this point, just use anything and everything other than Frost Shield. You got him. You're going to get recharged anyway. Alright. So, we're pretty much on track for the 100% run. Stupid mistakes here. Okay, now Speed Horse is another boss with an interesting quirk. When you hit him with the Frost Shield, it will stun him. But if you hit him with the Frost Shield, when he's higher than halfway up on top of the screen, come on, jump. Okay, so he'll melt down. He'll do his meltdown. I missed him. Okay. Like, you get him up here, you literally can disable his invincibility frames. Or even while he's invincible, you actually disable the true invincibility. And what happens is you literally can spam the frost shield in him and effectively just wreck him. That's kind of the trick to him. And we get his weapon, the Acid Burst, unless they called it something different here. But the Acid Burst has kind of the same quirk as the Frost Shield. If you destroy enemies with it, they'll drop weapon capsules instead of life capsules. Okay. You get Frost Shield or Acid Burst. Or Acid Rush. Okay. Though still nothing is gonna beat Bug Hole. Nothing. Okay. So basically we've collected everything and we're set to head on to the Doppler stage. And you know you're on the right path to doing the correct 100% run. When you go through, you want to make sure, like I said, all of your question mark items are still red. That means you haven't gotten any of the enhancement capsules. So we're good on Catfish, we're good on Crawfish, we're good on Rhino, good on Tiger, good on Seahorse, good on Beetle, good on Buffalo, and good on Hornet. So let's head on into the Doppler stages. Now, like I said, the Doppler stages do change up depending on, the bosses change up depending on whether or not you destroy Bit and Bite. Since I destroyed Bit, but defeated Bite, then I'm gonna get the Bit and Bite boss. Had I not, it would have been a different boss called, I think it's called Press Machine, which is a kind of annoying boss. It's like you find him in his room on a treadmill, and he's kind of up in the top corner. You have to use Tornado Fang on him, and like if you bust his nose, what happens is he'll spray acid down at the floor, and you can't let him stay on the floor. But he's definitely the harder of the two. Okay, this little mini boss here. If you don't have Zero, you basically have to rush to destroy him. Like you keep hitting him. So this boss right here, having Zero is different. Like where Zero is, there is actually a machine that causes the ceiling to come down on you. If you didn't have Zero, then you'd have to beat that boss and then rush to the machine to destroy it, so that way the ceiling doesn't collapse on you. But with Zero, he takes care of that for you. Alright, so now we're going to keep going here. Okay, come on. Okay, switch to Frost Shield. Now there's a reason why I'm doing Frost Shield, because what I want is, I want to make sure I get to a certain part. Alright, sure. Okay, there we go. Now there's a reason why I want to be right here. Like in the X game, if you get all the upgrades, the normal upgrades without the extra upgrades, you always can get an extra secret. This is why you don't get the enhancement chips. You get everything and you come down here at 100% health. This is where you find the Hyper Chip, which effectively combines all 4 chips in one. So you'll notice, you'll see him upgrade everything. Helmet, clothes, armor, boots, and, you know, it's a shiny new gold paint job. So now, we now have the Hypercharger, which will let us basically do constant amount of charging. So like activate hypercharger, you basically can fire buster shots non-stop, charge shots. We have the double air dash, we have the improved armor, and we have the energy recharger. So if you just stand here, you'll just start kind of hearing that recharge sound. This basically is your free recharge of your sub-tanks. Like go in here and you see him charge up. We'll just see what it does here. Charge. So we'll just give it about a minute or two. Yeah, I mean, this is kind of the slow part, but this is really showing you how you literally can just refill your energy tanks and just stand there. Just get someplace safe and, you know, take you a little bit, go get you a drink or something. And X will literally recharge his energy, and he can use this anytime. So if you're almost dead, like if you get to a boss room and you're almost dead and you don't necessarily want to use your sub-tanks, just stand there in the boss door before you go in and he'll start recharging. And he'll fill himself back up to full health. And if your energy tanks are empty, he'll just continue until he fills them all up. So I think we should be good. But let's just wait. Okay, so we're almost halfway there. So we'll give it just a little bit more. I think this should be the last one. Or so. But it fills these sub-tanks with a pretty good chunk. And there we go. Oh, well, we were one away. Okay, so yeah, when you notice he stopped charging, then that means everything is full. Full health tanks, full sub tanks. So basically, we literally have an automatic recharge. And then we've got the double air dash, so you can vertical, you can horizontal, vertical, 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 horizontal, horizontal. And this does work with neon jumps. You can neon jump, and basically it works like this. You can double air dash, neon jump, single air dash. Or you can single air dash, single air dash, neon jump, double air dash. So, like if we wanted to show that off, like I'll charge it up here. So you can double air dash. Well, art. I better not be suffering video curse again. Double dash. And there you go. So now you effectively get a triple jump with the double dash boot. And had we beaten both bit and bite, then our boss would actually be up here, be going up this way. But since we're doing it down here, we're going to face the merged version of bit and bite, which I believe is called God Car Machine Oinari or something. Some crazy long thing. But he's weak to the Ray Splasher, and he's a lot easier to handle. Because basically you can just shoot him with a Ray Splasher, and you can get behind him and just kind of shoot him in here. And if you notice also, X's shield is red, which means he's now taking 75% more damage. Okay, so apparently I was taking way too much there. Maybe that... Okay. Normally he didn't take that much damage. Normally he didn't take that much damage from him, so... You know what, we're just going to stay up here and we're just going to keep splashing with the Ray Splasher. And if I use a sub-tank, it's no big deal, because like I said, I've got a sub-tank recharger. Yeah, you know what? We'll get to if it's... Okay, so we don't have to, so we're good. Okay. So that takes care of him. But yeah, I kind of think he's a bit easier, even though you are taking a bit more damage. Of course, if you have the hyper chip, you know, you're just going to tank everything. The other one, the press whatever, I kind of think is a bit more difficult because you have to stay kind of near the top and you have to fire tornado fangs from a long distance to hit them. So that's the only reason why I say that one's more difficult. The bit and bite are a bit easier. All right, so now we're in stage 2. Now, the offer stage 2 is another stage where, depending on if you defeated Vile, will change. So if you have defeated Vile, so if you destroy Vile by hitting with the Ray Splasher or the Spinning Blade, then the stage here is going to look nice and neat, clean, everything's fine. Had you not defeated Vile with his weakness, then you would have to face off against him because he would have destroyed the place. Now here, this is the only time we get to fight a mini-boss with Zero. There's a reason why. So, we're gonna go in, we'll go ahead and charge up. So this little mini-boss here, I think it's called Mosquitoes or something. He's really pathetic. Oh shoot! Oh shoot! Aw, crud! Did I screw it up? Ah, crud. I screwed it up. And I didn't save it before. Okay, so... I don't want to rewind. Okay, so... Technically what's supposed to happen is when you beat that boss, once you beat him... wow, this is gonna be interesting. But technically what's supposed to happen is when you beat him, he will crash into Zero. And when he crashes into Zero, it'll wound Zero. But then Zero's gonna be like, hey, you know, I can't go on. Zero's supposed to give you his Z-Saber. And the Z-Saber is the most powerful weapon in the game. Which, now, wow. Yeah, Recorder's Curse. Wow. That was not supposed to happen. So, now instead of going in with the most powerful weapon in the game, great. And of course you can't call Zero again anymore, and once again, you fully lost Zero. Wow. I cannot believe this. Oh, wow. Okay. You know what? We can recover this. We can recover this. So, we'll go based on the hand we're dealt. You know, but what's supposed to happen is you get Zero's Beam Saber. And what it does is when you charge your Buster up, X will gain a 3rd level charge where he'll turn green. And so he'll turn green, and this time when you release your charge, he'll fire out a beam that will literally just cut through, and it does like 25 damage per, well, it's 20 something plus damage per hit. I mean, it will wreck stuff. And there's a reason why I kind of wanted it, because it will also, it was going to help on Sigma. So, you know what? But hey, we're okay. We're okay. It's not the end of the world. It's just the end of easy mode. But like I said, we're okay. We're okay. Wow, that's the first time that dude has ever beaten me like that. And the thing is, he's easy as crap. Like, basically what you do is you hit him with one Z-Saber slash and he's dead. But I did not know he does that much damage. Darn. Yeah, I had no idea he does that much damage if he grabs you. Wow. Okay. So, in this playthrough, get any more curse? Now, here also, this is kind of where the speedrunners really take advantage of the hypo chip. Because with it, I've seen speedrunners, well, I don't know if it's speedrunners or if it's the TAS. I've actually been able to completely vertical jump this whole thing without relying on these little slug things. Basically, you switch the hypercharger and go ham with neon jumps, and you really see them just speed climb up this wall like it's nothing. Spikes and everything, so it's ridiculous. Okay. Wow, I cannot freaking believe I messed up the Z-Saber. We're good. You know what? I'm gonna try this. I don't know if this works. If it works, I'm freaking awesome. I'm freaking awesome. Well, this next boss here would have been where we show off the Z-Saber. Great, it's been forever since I've fought this thing without the Z-Saber. I don't even remember how. Oh yeah, Riot Thunder. But yeah, Z-Saber you would have just charged up and then just jumped up, Z-Saber slashed in, and finished him off with 2 shots. And it would have also made really good on the boss refights as well. Like I said, you know what? We're gonna roll with it. It happens. Let's just go with it. Because, I mean, that's the joy of video games, isn't it? You know? If things don't go your way, just keep rolling with it and keep going. Okay, so now we're going near the boss refights. So now with the boss refights here, this one has this new little unique capsule here. As you shoot it, it will drop energy capsules. If you had the Z-Saber, it would have dropped a extra life because it would have destroyed it instantly. Now, alright Crawfish, we're gonna try this again. Okay, that's Tiger. Okay. might as well show off some of the charge attacks too anyway. Alright, so there's Tiger down. Alright, and that'll let us recharge if we need to. Alright, you're a crawfish. Alright. Chunky idiot. Okay, come on, there you go, there you go. I'm gonna get this. It kills me. Oh, come on! You stupid fish! There we go. I told you I was gonna get it, you dumb crawfish. So, that's how the crawfish quick kill works. You hit him with one of the lightning bolts from the Triad Thunder while you're charging up, and then the moment you get enough, you release the Triad Thunder, and while he's invincible, it'll kill him. Okay, that's kind of all the rest of the tips and the rest of the, shortcuts and everything. Alright, let's use the bug hole! Yep. So pretty much, Blast Hornet, as long as you stay close to the gravity well, and, as soon as you catch it, shoot it again, you pretty much have it locked. Alright. Shadowlord didn't even do anything to this, does it? Nope. Okay. What do we got in here? Buffalo! And Buffalo, you can choose him again. But we'll go ahead and use his weakness on him, which is Parasitic Bomb. So that's another thing of Buffalo's attacks, is when you see him with the gold horns, he'll grab you, and then he'll dash you into the wall. Yes, he'll give you the horns. And now for the charge up, that's another one of his attacks. He will fire an ice laser. Because apparently he's a martial artist, so that's why he kind of knows the Kamehameha. But yeah, here's the Parasitic Bomb. When you charge it up, it will literally just keep firing. It'll axe those targets, and then it'll target, anything that you run into and kind of start blasting it. Okay. Okay. Now who we got here? Catfish! Alright, we're gonna drill us catfish. Now the charge up for the Tornado Fang, X basically creates a power drill on his arm in place of his buster. It'll constantly keep going And you can actually use it, like if you hit the wall with it, it'll actually let X hang on the wall. And he doesn't slide down. But it uses up a lot of energy if you're not careful. Like it'll constantly keep going. But we're not worried about the point of the thing anymore, so that's a catfish. With a big mouth. Okay. Oh, and there's nothing down here. It's just ore. Alright. So who do we got now? Gravity Wheel. Let's see, where's Race Flasher? Okay. Yep. Come on. Come on. Yep, you're not going to get to play. And I'll go ahead and show off the charged Race Flasher. It'll basically fire an energy orb that pretty much keeps firing and shooting. Kind of in a splash there. Alright. Let's beetle down. I think all we have left is... Seahorse and Rhino. Yeah, so one of these is Seahorse and one of them is Rhino. Okay. So now we're actually going to use the Acid Burst on him, but I want to be careful with it because I don't want to use up too much Acid Burst. So the thing about the Acid Burst is you can actually fire it upward, where you can fire it directly on the ground. You can jump, and then it will kind of divide. And then the charged Acid Burst, it will actually release 2 acid capsules. And once again, we finish off with Seahorse. Didn't mean to go in that order, but looks like that's what we got. Alright. Yeah, I just want to make sure that my Acid Burst is fully charged, because I'll need it. Okay. And once again, we'll do the quick kill if we can. Okay, yep, we know you're gonna do that. Oh, you loser. There we go. And Seahorse is down. It really feels so weird playing it like this when normally I just use the Z-Saber and just cheese them. Okay, so that's all of the refights. Now we get to take on Dr. Doppler. And Doppler's weakness is Acid Burst. Now, Doppler Doppler has a unique thing. Doppler has a recharge shield, which if you hit him with anything when he's using his recharge shield, it will fill him up, which is kind of a negative thing about the Z-Saber. Like when he does that green shield right there, that basically means don't hit him, because it will basically restore all his life. So, like I said, this is another one where I don't usually play without it, because like I said, I hit him with the thing and he recharged. Yeah, like you hit him there, he'll recharge. You just keep hitting him with acid burst. Oh, didn't want to hit him. But pretty much at this point, you can tank everything you've got. You can use your energy tanks if you need to, because coming in the next part, we can just stand there and recharge if you need to recharge them. But for the most part, acid burst him, stay up near him, watch for his energy shield, make sure not to hit him with his not to hit him when his shield is up, and pretty much you'll take him down. Now, it didn't show him blowing up like normal, and that's normal for Doppler. He doesn't blow up. All right, final stage. Basically, final stage here, final stage, basically it's Sigma. At this point, the only weapon that you really need is Spinning Blade. If you had Zero, he would show up here and he would kind of bust through this wall saying he's going to investigate more. Alright, then we got the final Quan. Alright, gonna have to really lock in here because I don't normally fight Sigma without the Z-Saber. But for some reason, he's now taking the Captain America. And he hurt. But his weakness is Spinning Blade. So, just kind of jump behind him and Spinning Blade him. Can. Go ahead and use your sub-tanks because this is it. I mean, you're gonna have to use them. If you can avoid using them, more power to you. But yes, this sucker hurts. If you can get a charge shot in, go for it. Okay, so I'm down 2 sub-tanks, which is not bad. Now, this is the reason why I wanted the Z-Saber. Because now, we get to face off against Kaiser Sigma. And the reason why you wanted the Z-Saber is because Kaiser Sigma is only weak to the X-Buster. And it's charge shots. And it's a very small hitbox because you have to hit him in the head. So, luckily, we do have the Hypercharger, which can help. But for now, just kind of want to avoid stuff. He'll fire missiles from behind. He'll keep firing these mines. Just get under him. Try your best to hit him in the head. Don't use the cross-charge shot because you won't really be able to hit it. But pretty much, it's just charge shots, let him have it with charge shots. hypercharger, just switch back to your X Buster. And just, you know, be careful with taking damage. I mean, if you take damage, you know, use it to your advantage. Use it to fill up your hypercharger. Watch out for this beam shot. If you get into aim it upwards, you will destroy those mines. So go ahead and use an energy tank. Okay. Ouch. That hurts. Okay, so now it's basically just being patient. Alright, last sub-tank. Alright. Okay. Alright. Okay, we're okay. Taking your time here. Put yourself in the right position, and you get the shot off. Yeah, if you had the Z-Saber and you could land the Z-Saber, it would have been 2-shot kill. So, but we're not done. They added one final. I think they added one final. Yeah, we're gonna screw you over a bit. Basically, now you've got Neon Sigma, aka Virus Sigma, that was from X2, and you now have to make an escape here. If you land in the lava, it's not fatal. You're only taking like 1 damage a pop, but once you get up to this ledge here, once you're up here, just go forward, and that's game. Now, this ending does change a little bit, depending on whether or not you have Zero alive or not. Basically, X gets face down where he's basically facing the Sigma virus, and it's like, okay, he's screwed. So what happens is, if Zero is alive, Zero busts down out of here, and he will attack with his Z-Saber. He'll have Zero's thing playing. Zero says he picks up an antivirus, put it in his sword, and that's how he finishes off Sigma. If you don't have Zero, then it's Doppler who gets him and takes him out. And they both end up teleporting out of the hole that was busted down there. In addition, with the ending here, if you have Zero, because it does show X. So if you have Zero with you, then you'll see Zero here in the ending. And now we get the slow text. Okay. And I think this talks about more of the, X's destiny and everything. I think it does even talk about eventually X X having to fight Zero. And then we come to the ending credits, which it looks like they've actually went back to the Mega Man X style credits, where you've got X running on the highway. And once again, if Zero was with you, you know, if you had Zero alive, then it would show both X and Zero running together, instead of just X by himself. But for my final thoughts, this has always been a fun game. It's definitely a lot more challenging than Mega Man X2. The introduction of the right armors was really good. It's just kind of a shame that you don't really get to use the right armors that much, because they're really only useful for a few upgrades. The introduction of the expansion capsules was really good. Being able to upgrade your upgrades, essentially. That was a nice, interesting quirk. Of course, Zero's introduction was probably the biggest thing that everybody loved about this game was, you know, when it came out, the fact that you got to play as Zero for the first time. Until X4, when he actually becomes fully playable in his own complete game. This game, of course, they did release it on the Super Nintendo. It was also released on Sega Saturn, PlayStation 1, and on PC. And it was, of course, on the Mega Man X collection that came out on PlayStation, GameCube, and the original Xbox. If you want to play it today, like I said, it's available on Switch, PlayStation 4, Xbox, Steam, or if you're savvy, you can actually emulate it. The ROMs are out there, and if you know where to find them, you can get them. Honestly, it's definitely, Mega Man X in this style has always been fun. I'm still holding out for the hopes that Mega Man X9 will be made, and be made in this style. I know there's a lot of Mega Man X fan games out there in production. Not all of them have been released yet. I do know that they have created the Mega Man X8 remake, which took Mega Man X8 back down to the 16-bit style here of the Super Nintendo, which is really good. And really fun. But overall, the X series is always a good, fun game to play. And so, if you really like Mega Man, I say always jump in, play it, have fun with it. And this one usually does give you a lot of different ways to play the game. So, you don't necessarily have to hold up for the hyper chip. You can go in and grab any one of the upgrade chips that you want, and just try playing the game that way. You don't have to get the Zero Buster or the Zero Saber. You can get the Z-Saber if you want. So there's a lot of different, things about this game that gives you a lot of bit of creativity to play in. But with that, in terms of my final thoughts, I say it's definitely a good playthrough, and I hope that this playthrough has given you kind of some hints and tips. Even though I did suffer some creator curses there for a bit, but I guess it happens when you make games. But I want to say thanks so much for tuning in and watching, and I hope you enjoy this. Feel free to check out some of my other videos, my X2 video, and even my new Virtual Recall series, where I just kind of jump into old school classic games that I've always enjoyed playing. Until then, take care of yourselves, stay excellent to each other, and I'll see you guys next time.